Hello everyone, a big welcome to all of you on your favorite YouTube channel MBA Wallah English. Now friends, as you have already known this particular thing that we have started a series for all of you in which we'll be discussing each and every slot of CAT 2024 on the basis of I would say that the relevance in which in the sequence of relevance in which we should be attempting the sets of each of these slots to maximize our percentile, right? So friends, in this session, I have done the analysis of CAT 2024 slot number 1. Now, analysis, like I'll be obviously sharing it with you. I'll not directly start solving the questions, solving the sets, but I'll tell you how to basically get into the art of, or how to basically master the art of selection of that first set from which we'll be starting our LRDI section, and then what should be the strategy behind selection of the set, right? And then after we are done with the first set, which should be the second set, third set, in order to maximize our score. Now, one very important thing that we must know that this is a competitive examination in which we are given some restricted amount of time. In this case, we are given 40 minutes, and in CAT 2024, in each and every slot, we have seen 5 sets of LRDI. Now, out of these 5 sets, how many sets you are required to solve? How many sets are should be attempted, should be solved correctly to get that 90 percentile, which will be enough to basically cover the sectional cutoff of each of the top IIMs. Then if you are strong in LRDI, how many sets you should be attempting in order to maximize your score to reach a barrier of 95 percentile, to cross the barrier of 99 percentile, and so on and so forth, right? So we'll be doing the complete analysis to start with in this session, and we'll be solving minimum of 2 sets, which every student should have solved if you have taken CAT 2024 slot number 1, right? So friends, let's begin with this. Now, first of all, let's write the analytics, right? Simple facts that we have known. So CAT 2024 slot 1, we have seen a total of 5 sets, right? Now, 5 sets which were divided in, I would say, questions of 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. That means a total of 22 questions, right? Now, out of these 22 questions, any student who is successfully able to attempt 8 questions, I would say that 2 sets of of the questions in which we had 4 questions, 2 sets, or maybe 1 set from here, 1 set from here, 8 to 9 questions, is successfully able to cross 90 plus percentile, 90 plus percentile, which is enough to clear the cutoff, to clear the sectional cutoff of almost every top IIMs, right? Now, at 8 questions, we are able to achieve 90 percentile. 8 questions means 2 sets, 2 complete sets. And this was a kind of CAT examination. This was a kind of section in which a student can easily attempt 10 plus questions, right? So today we'll start with 8 questions. That means 2 complete sets, 8 or 9 questions. Let's see, based on the analysis, based on the level of difficulty, we'll be taking a decision, right? So now I'll be displaying all the 5 sets, and we'll tell you something about that set, right? And we'll see what should be the deciding factor which helps us in selection of that very first set in which we are going to enter. So a student who is attempting this examination may be strong in logical reasoning, may be strong in data interpretation, or may be strong in both these areas, right? So a student who is strong in both these areas might be indifferent about the selection on the basis of logical reasoning or data interpretation. A student who is strong in logical reasoning will be attracted towards the set of logical reasoning. A student who is good in data interpretation will see different type of charts, will see different type of numbers, and will be confident in solving those questions of data interpretation to start with, right? Now, I will remain neutral as a faculty because I can say that for me, both the areas are equally good. or you can say equally bad, right? So I'll be looking at each and every set, and one another parameter, one another deciding factor I'll be using, the complexity of the set, the amount of data that is given, the amount of instructions which are there, right? And we'll take the decision on the basis of that, right? So let's enter the first set. So the first set, it was like this, right? Two students, Amya and Ramya, are the only candidates for the election. So election wala set, this is the set in which there are two candidates for the election, followed by this much of information, right? Okay, now I would say that half a page and then one complete page, lot of data is given to us, right? Now, even if the set is easy, I will require 4 to 5 minutes, at least 4 to 5 minutes, even if I'm good at reading. I'll require 4 to 5 minutes in reading this entire stuff and in understanding this entire stuff. 4 to 5 minutes, right? After which I'll start making the table, I'll start analyzing the data, and then I'll go to the questions, right? Now, the length of the set, the complexity of the information that is given. Complexity, I don't know because I haven't read this information. I haven't read any of this piece of information. But based on the length of the set, I'll stay away from the set to start with. So it will hardly take me 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes to understand that this set might be a challenging set. It may waste my time because once I'm done with the reading of the entire set, once I have spent 4 to 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, that means 12.5% of the allocated time, then it will get difficult for me to come out of this set, and I'll eventually enter the vicious cycle, and I'll keep on investing more time in that set. So let's refrain away, let's stay away from this kind of set and move on to the second set. Now the second set is only this much information, so obviously less amount of information as compared to the first set. And this is the game of something game. 6 teams are there. So a question which is related to games and tournaments. I would say that games and tournaments may become very complex, right? But still, since the amount of information is less, so I may enter this set, right? So 30 seconds, maximum 30 seconds, it will require to take a decision. So I'll keep this particular set on the back seat, right? So I'll put a star, I'll put a question mark or whatever symbol you have for yourself. You can put this in grade 2 or round 2, right? So it's not an attractive set. Let's move further and move on to the next set. Now, next set, even lesser amount of information, right? Okay. I would say that not information, but less amount of instructions are given, followed by a bar graph. Now, looking at this bar graph, you might think that this is a question of data interpretation, but understand that a typical question of data interpretation involves some bigger numbers. Now, here in the graph, you will see the numbers like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so on. And in this information as well, you will not see a number which is greater than 30. 30 is the highest number. So this is not data interpretation. This is logical reasoning. This is distribution of some numbers, right? So these kind of questions are literally very easy, wherein you will have to just distribute the numbers, right? I'll put a star mark on this and we'll move ahead. Okay. Don't get tempted. It may be possible that easier questions are there ahead. So I'll put a star mark. I've spent 30, 35 seconds. Up till now, I've spent a total of 2 to 3 minutes, right? And I've seen 3 sets. Now moving on to the next set. Again, very less amount of information. A chart in which the numbers are very less, even lesser than the previous one. And then 5 pieces of information. So this set is a little lengthier than the previous set, but I would say that similar as far as data is concerned, similar. This is also not a typical data interpretation set. Okay, right? So I'll move on 4 questions and we'll enter the last set. So last set, that's it. No other information. Now, this was a very famous set that you would have solved in classes as well. Lectures, in lectures, we have seen this. Okay. Now, this we can say that it's a typical data interpretation. So, for the students who love data interpretation, they can enter these this kind of set. The numbers that you will see on the graph, the pictures here tells us that picking up the values from this graph is not at all difficult. Okay. Moreover, you don't have any other information. That's it. For like after this, you will have to enter the questions. So I can put a star here as well. Okay. Now I have selected one set of logical reasoning, number distribution, and one set of data interpretation. Like, right, matching the priorities, preferences of every kind of student, one logical reasoning and one data interpretation. Right. So I have selected two sets. Both sets have four questions each. I'll be good. I'll be crossing 90 percentile barrier if I'll be able to solve these two sets completely. All right, fine. So friends, let's start solving these sets one by one, which we have selected. Okay. Now looking at this one, this is a very famous set of candlesticks. I'm sure that each and every one of you must have solved this question in your lectures as well. The chart below shows the price data for 7 shares A, B, C, D, E, F and G as a candlestick plot for a particular day. By now, you all must know how to read a candlestick chart. In candlestick chart, every candle will give us 4 information, right? So you have a square, a rectangle followed by 2 lines. So bottom of this line will give you one value, top of this line will give you another value. Then rectangle, top and bottom of this rectangle will give you another 2 values. As you can see here, it is mentioned. So there are 2 different colors of candles, red and green. Now, days high, days low, the top and the bottom of the stick. Days high and days low, top and bottom of the stick. So same, red and green, these two are same. Top is days high, bottom is days low. Now if I talk about the rectangle here, in the red color case, top of the rectangle is opening price, bottom is closing price. On the other hand, green has top as closing and bottom as opening price. So basically they will define 2 different type of shares. If you have an understanding of share market, you would definitely know this thing, bullish and bearish, right? Okay, so this is one thing. So now they are saying that the vertical axis that you can see here, the values 200, 400, 600 at a gap of 200, the values, right? They shows the price of the share in terms of rupees. Okay, price of the share in terms of rupees. Now they will teach you how to basically read this data, how to basically read this candle. Now, a share whose closing price is more than the opening price is called a bullish share. Otherwise, it is bearish. So they have identified the 2 types of shares in a bearish market and a bullish market, right? So this is the color coding. All bullish shares and bearish shares are shown in red and green and red color respectively. So bullish with green and bearish with red. Okay, so this is what we know, how to read the data. It's clearly visible. They have given both the examples of red and green color candle. Now, as far as data is concerned, I have invested good amount of time so that I'll be able to explain all of you. But there was nothing considerable, there was nothing new in this data, and this can be read in less than 1 minute. Also, you don't need to tabulate this data. One biggest question that students ask me that, sir, should we make a table of this data? My reply is you must be tabulating the data which is difficult to pick up from the graph given. Okay, so this graph is easily readable. You don't have to stress a lot in picking up the values. The values are very simple. Okay, so there is no need to tabulate. It will waste your time. Now, table for 7 shares. Every share has 4 values. 7 into 4, 28 cells will be there in the table. Why to waste this much of time? 28 cells, you will require at least 1.5 minutes to tabulate this data, maybe more, right? So why to waste that amount of time if you can easily fetch the values from the graph? All right. Okay, great. So we can say that once we have entered this set, in less than 1 minute, we can jump on to the questions. All right. So this is a very important thing that you must apply. All right. Now let's move on to the questions one by one. So there were 4 questions. Question number 1, they have defined a term SPV. Now you don't have to give your like peace of mind towards this thing. You don't have to lose your peace of mind in thinking about the SPV. What the term? What the hell is this term? No, you don't have to do anything. Now in CAT, whatever technical things they will be using, they will be defining all those things. Like they have defined a share which is bullish or bearish, right? They have defined. Okay. Now daily SPV is defined as days high minus days low divided by average of opening and closing. Okay. Which among the shares A, C, D and F have the highest SPV on that day? So that means we just have to study these 4 shares A, C, D and F, and we'll have to determine highest SPV, like which share will have highest SPV, right? Now put more focus on these terms: highest, second highest, lowest, second lowest. Be careful with this. You can easily make an error in such cases, right? Now I'll write the SPV for each of these shares one by one, and I'll make sure that I'll not be doing any kind of simplification. I'll just write these fractions. All right. Now for A, days high minus days low, days high, days low, days high, days low, the endpoints of the stick. So for A, 2400 minus 1200 is 1200 divided by the average of opening and closing. Now opening and closing are shown by the rectangle, top and bottom of the rectangle. So 2200 and 1800. The average of 2 numbers is the middle term. So just by looking at the graph only, you will be able to get the middle value. There is no need to add these 2 numbers and divide them by 2. Nothing, no need. Just look at the middle term. So 2200 and 1800, the middle term is 2000. So denominator will be 2000. I'll leave it as it is, no simplification. Okay. C, green color, 1400 minus 800, that is 600 divided by the midpoint of these two is 1000. Right. Now next is D, 1200 minus 300, that is 900 divided by, this value is easily readable, between 200 and 400 it will be 300. Okay, so 1200 minus 300, that is 900, and the middle of these two. Now if you are like having a difficulty in finding the middle point of these two, then you can add and divide by 2. So 1000 and 500, 1500 divided by 2 is 750. Now understand one thing, we have to find out the highest among these. This is less than 1, this is less than 1. As soon as you have got one fraction which is more than 1, you can reject these two. No need to waste time in simplification. Very, very important thing. Okay. Last for F, where is F? F 2000 upon minus 1200. So that is 800 divided by a value which is somewhere between 1600 and 1800. That is 1700. No need to even write this value because this is less than 1. Okay. Numerator is smaller, denominator is bigger. Cancel. Answer should be D. Right. So option C, that is share D, is the correct answer. Perfect. Let's move on to the second question. Question number 20. All right. Chaliye, आगे चलते हैं. Now again SPV, they are working on SPV again. We have already calculated SPV of 4 shares. Now let's see what they are looking for. So do not depend on the same definition. Read this question. They may change the definition of SPV in second question. Possible. Okay. So again, days high minus days lows upon average of opening and closing. It's same. How many shares have an SPV greater than 0.5? Half. 1 by 2. Such a wonderful fraction they have given. Right? Okay. Such an easy fraction they have given. Now we have already calculated SPV of 4 shares. Let's go back to this. Now, how many of these shares have SPV of greater than 0.5? Half. 1200 upon 2000. 1200 upon 2400 is half. 1200 upon 2400 is half. Reduction in denominator will increase the value. Okay, so I can say that A is one of them which has an SPV of greater than 0.5. 6 upon 10, 0.6, definitely higher. More than 1, definitely higher. 800 upon 1600 is exactly half. Denominator is increased. Denominator is increased. The value will decrease. Not taken. So A, C and D, I have taken these 3 shares out of the 4. So 3 shares have SPV of greater than 0.5 among these 4, A, C, D, F. Okay. Now I've already studied A, C, D, F. Now I'll be studying B, C and D gone, E and G. So B, E and G. I'll be studying SPV of these 3 shares and that's it. I'll get the answer. Such an easy question this one is once again. Okay. So for B, SPV 2000 upon 2000 minus 1400, that is 600, divided by, no need to even write this value. Average of these two will certainly be in the range of 1800, 1900, right? So 18, 1900, I can say that SPV will be less than 0.5. 1 upon 3, 0.33, right? No need to get into the depth of this calculation. Leave it behind. E, 1400 minus 1100. 1400 minus 1100, that is 300, divided by a value somewhere here, 1200, right? So 1200, again, I'm not writing the exact value, I'm just writing the approximate values. Okay, so again, this is somewhere around 1 by 4, certainly less than half. Last, G, 1900 minus 1000, that is 900, divided by, if the denominator is 1800 or less, I'll select this. If the denominator is more than 1800, I'll not select this. I want SPV of greater than 0.5. Even if the denominator is 1800, I'll reject that. Okay. Now the average of these. So average of these 1700 and 1200, the average of 1700 and 1200 will certainly be less than 1800. So denominator is favorable. This value is considered. Okay. Now, did you see how I'm not even writing the numbers? Leave behind calculations. Okay. I'm not writing the complete expression, and even before that, I'm able to select my final answer. This is the art of saving time in data interpretation. And this is the exact question of CAT 2024. Okay. So 3 from the first question and 1 from this will type in the answer as 4. So there are 4 shares in which SPV is greater than 0.5. Quickly move on to the next question, question number 21. Now, daily loss for a share is defined as opening minus closing price divided by opening price. Which among the shares A, B, F and G has the highest daily loss on that day? So daily loss they have defined, okay, and then we'll have to find out the highest value of whatever thing they have defined. So the shares are A, B, F, G. So these 4 shares, opening minus closing upon opening. For A, now for A, opening minus closing, opening is higher than closing. So 2200 minus 1800, that is 400, divided by opening price, that means 2200. Okay, simple fraction. For B, again a red color candle. So opening is higher than closing. Okay, 2000 minus 1700, that is 300, divided by 2000. Okay, the third share F, again red color. Opening is 1800, closing is 1600. So difference is 200 upon 1800. Perfect. G. G is a green color share wherein opening price is less than the closing price. its value is going to be negative. So why waste time in even writing this negative value when we have to find out the highest? There are already 3 positive values. So you're going to get highest from here only. Negative is always less than a positive number. All right. So now let's work on these numbers. A wonderful way of working on this, convert them in percentages. So this, after simplification, 2 upon 11, 3 upon 20, 1 upon 9. Now 2 upon 11 in terms of percentages, 1 upon 11 is 9.09, 2 upon 11 is 18.18. This should go in there, inside, not on a piece of paper. 3 upon 20, 1 upon 20 is 5%, 3 upon 20 will be 15%, right? 1 upon 9, obviously 11.11. So out of these, this one is highest, A, right? So A, B, F, G. It's not option A, it's the share A. Share A is option C, which is the correct answer, right? Next on, question number 22, the last question of this set. Till now, everything is going very easy, very simple. What would have been the percentage wealth gain for a trader who bought equal number of shares? Important thing I have underlined. Of all bullish shares. Now, which one is bullish, which one is bearish? You don't have to worry about that. Even if you don't understand share market, you can go back to the common set of information. All bullish are with green and bearish with red. So bullish is green, right? Now, what do I need? I need bullish. They are talking about green colored shares. That means C, D, and G. So they are talking about C, D, and G. So a person will buy equal number of these shares. Now, since we are buying equal number, the answer will not be changed or affected by the number of shares. 1 share, 2 shares, 10 shares, 100 shares, equal number of shares of each of these companies, right? So what I'll do, I'll buy 1 share of each of them. Cost price, right? And then I'll sell them, okay? And I'll have to find percentage wealth gain, percentage profit. All right. So cost price, selling price, I'll calculate, right? I'll write at what price they are buying and at what price they are selling. So selling price, and I'll write the profit as well. All right. Okay. Or I'll calculate total selling price, total cost price, and then we'll take the difference. So I'll not have to calculate the individual profit as well. Now, at what price they are buying? So who bought equal number of all bullish shares at their opening price? So green color opening price. Green color opening price is the bottom of the rectangle. So this one is 800, this one is 500, this one is 1200. So 800, 500, 1200, total money invested is 2500. Done. Sell, sold them at day's high. In green color case, day's high is the top of the candlestick. All right. So this is sold at 1400, 1200 and 1900. So 1400, 1200, 1900. Total selling price is 4500. Percentage change, percentage profit, kuch bhi bolo, whatever you say, you will have to calculate that. So there is a profit of 2000 rupees over the cost price of 2500. Clearly visible, the fraction is 4 by 5, which is equivalent to 80%. So 80% will be the answer of this question. Option A is the correct answer, right? Now, I would say that each of these questions will require not more than 1.5 minutes on an average, 6 minutes, maximum 7 minutes for these 4 questions, plus 2 minutes of understanding the data. I gave you 1 minute earlier. I'm increasing it to 2 minutes. I'm doubling that. Maximum 10 minutes, you will be done with these 4 questions. Maximum 10 minutes, right? So one complete set is under your hand and it has taken less than 10 minutes, right? Okay. So 4 questions done. Great. Now let's move on to the another set. You remember we have bookmarked it. All right. So I'll go back to that set and let's see what I have in it for myself. 6 web surfers MNOPXY each had 30 stars. Important piece of information. So there are 6 web servers, each had 30 stars, which they distributed among 4 bloggers. So there are 4 bloggers A, B, C, D. It's clear in the mind that what will be the structure of the table? 6 cross 4. Simple as that. Okay. So M, N, O, P, X and Y. Right? So I will have 6 columns. You may have 6 rows as well. Right? So these are web surfers. Right? Now each of them has 30 stars. So 30, 30. No need to write. I'm just writing it for your understanding. Okay? In the examination, rough work, I'll not write. I'll save time. Now, there are 4 bloggers, blogger A, B, C and D, right? So 30 stars will be distributed by each of the web surfer among these bloggers. Perfect, great. So vertically the sum should be 30. Itna pata hai, we know this thing. The number of stars received by A and B from the 6 web surfers is already given. Complete information for the first 2 rows I already have, right? So this question is becoming very easy. So let's copy the values, all these values from the graph. So first of all, for A, 10, look at the sequence. Don't forget that. MNOPXY. I have used the same sequence. Thank God. So 10, 25, 0. Perfect. 505. All right, done. For B, 0, 0, 0, 25, 0, 20. 0, 0, 0, 25, 0, 20. 25, 20, absolutely perfect. Great. So half of the job is done. Right? Okay. Now the another half is given at the bottom. The following additional facts are known regarding the number of stars received by the bloggers from the surfers. Point number 1. The number of stars received by the bloggers from the surfers were all multiples of 5 including 0. So a surfer can give 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 or maximum 30 stars. 30 is the number of stars they have. Every number that I'll be filling in this table is multiple of 5 including 0. Brilliant, mazedar information. Second point, first was generic, okay. Second point, the total number of stars received by the bloggers were the same. Every blogger has received equal number of stars. My God. Total number of stars 180, 30, 30, 30, 30, 6 times 180. 180 equally divided among 4 people. 180 divided by 4 is 45. So horizontally, the sum should be 45. You might not have observed it for A and B. Check 35, 40, 45, 45 for A, 25 and 20, 45 for B. Perfect. For A and B, it is matching. Obviously, it should match, right? The second point I have taken, done. Third point, each blogger received a different number of stars from M. M has given different number of stars for each blogger. Now M has already distributed 10 plus 0, that is 10 stars, left with 20. 20, if I have to divide 20, if I'll have to write 20 as the sum of 2 numbers which are multiples of 5, it will be 20 is equal to 0 plus 20, this is one way, is equal to 5 plus 15 another way, is equal to 10 plus 10 the third way. Each blogger received different number of stars from M. So 10 plus 10, it is not possible. 0 plus 20, if one of them will get 0, B has already got 0. So again, it will not be considered. So I'll be considering only this possibility, 5, 15. So C will receive 5, D will receive 15, or vice versa. I'll write both the possibilities. Okay, done. So this information is already used. I'll erase it. Perfect. In the exam, obviously you'll not be erasing it because you will have enough amount of space for rough work. I have limited. Okay, chalo. So third point is done. Fourth point, 2 surfers gave all their stars to a single blogger. Out of 6 surfers, there are 2 surfers who gave all their stars to one blogger, right? Okay, now it is not M. Obviously, M has distributed among 3 of them. It is not N because 30 stars needs to be given to a single blogger. So N has already given 25. It may be O. It is not P. It may be X. It is not Y. So there are 2. So they have to be O and X. Only these 2 are possible. I require 2. I have got 2. All right. So O has given all the 30 stars to either C or D. So if he will give 30 to C, right, will give 0 to D or vice versa, right? And the same thing is done by X, distributed all the stars, all 30 stars to any one of these 2. So if O has already given 30 to C, so X cannot give 30 because 30 plus 30 will become 60. But I have 45 here, total 45. So if O has given 30 stars to C, then X will give 0 and give 30 to D or vice versa. So there are 2 possibilities, right? Okay, I have written both the possibilities here. So this is about point number 4, which is done. All right, great. Point number 5, D received more stars than C from Y. From Y, D received more as compared to C. Let's work out on this. Now here, out of 30 stars, already 25 are distributed. I'm left with only 5. 5 cannot be broken in 1 plus 4, 2 plus 3. We already know that if the stars are given, it will be multiple of 5. So this remaining number 5 will be divided in 2 parts, 0, 5, right? Now D received more than C. So D received 5 and C received 0 stars. This is clear. All right. Now I have read all these conditions. Now I'll have to fill in the remaining values. Okay. Now understand. If I look at D, D will receive 30 stars from either O or X, 30 stars, and has received 5 from Y. So 30 plus 5, 35, right? So D can receive another 10 stars. That means D cannot receive 15 stars, right? So here from M, D will not receive 15 because 30 plus 5, 35. 30 among these 2 numbers, there will be 130. All right. So 30 plus 5, 35. 35 plus 15 will be 50, will exceed 45, which is not possible. So I can say that D cannot receive 15 stars from M. So D will receive only 5 stars from M. So that means I'll receive, I'll remove 15 from here. I'll remove 5 from here. So M has given 15. M has given 15 stars to C and 5 stars to D. All right. Perfect. Great. Now 5 and 5 and 30, 40 stars. So another 5 can come here. Okay. Also, if 15 has already come here and 30 will be one of these 2 values, 15 plus 30 is already 45. Done with the quota. So that means at the remaining places, it has to be 0. So 0 is the number of stars received by C from N as well as from P. So these 2 numbers will be 0. All right. Now look at the column of N, 25, 0, 0. 5 stars are left. So it will give to D. Done. Now quota of D is complete. 30 among these two numbers, one of the 30s, and then 5, 5, 5, 15. 45 is already taken. So this number will be 0, and obviously already 30 is gone. All right. Now I am left with this portion. Okay. And there is no further information. So we'll have two different cases, as you can see, and the other values are filled in. All right. Now, right now I have taken somewhere around 7-8 minutes to fill in this table. Okay. I was explaining you each and everything. Let's say you being a student might be slow, right? Okay. And you don't have to explain. So compensate it. So even if you will also take 7 to 8 minutes to fill in this table, that's it. 7 to 8 minutes maximum time will be taken to fill in this table, and you can go towards the question. 4 questions will not take more than a minute, maximum 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. So once again, in less than 10 minutes, you have these 4 questions. Okay, right? So I'll move towards the question. So I'll solve them on this page only. What was the total number of stars received by D? Total number of stars received by D. Do I even have to write all the values in the table? The first pointer that you saw, the number of stars received by every blogger was same. Where was it? Was same. Second point. So in the first 2 minutes, when I was reading this data, I've already got this number. Every blogger will receive equal number of stars, that is 45. So one question has already been answered in the first 2 minutes, 45. Okay, such a simple question this one was. What was the number of stars received by D from Y? D from Y. D from Y, it is 5 stars. All right. So 5 is the answer of this question. I'll go back to the question. Option C is the correct answer. Done. Question number 13. How many surfers distributed their stars among exactly 2 bloggers? Exactly 2 bloggers. How many surfers? So there are 6 surfers. M has given the stars among 3. So M is not the case. N has distributed exactly among 2. So 1. This one. O has distributed to only 1 surfer, either C or D, all the stars. So O is not the case. Be careful. Some of you might commit this error. P has given to exactly 2 bloggers. X will give to exactly 1, all its stars, not the value, not the answer. And Y has distributed among 3 bloggers. So there are 2 bloggers, N and P. N and P, there are 2 bloggers. So you will type in the answer as 2. And the last question, which of the following can be determined with certainty? Can be determined with certainty. Statement 1. The number of stars received by C from M. By C from M. Yes, I have the number certainty. So first statement, yes. Right? Second one. The number of stars received by D from O. D from O. D from O, either 0 or 30, cannot be determined with certainty. So second statement, not. So only one. Option A is the correct answer. Right? So friends, we have got these 4 questions in the kitty in under 10 minutes. And we have got that candlestick chart under the kitty, which we have already seen under 10 minutes. First 4 minutes we have spent, or first 5 minutes, even first 5 minutes we have spent in deciding which set we are going to select first. All right. So first 5 minutes were gone. Then next 8 to 10 minutes for this set. Then 8 to 10 minutes for the second set. So I can say that in less than 25 minutes, you are into this section. In less than 25 minutes, you will be able to get 8 questions, 2 complete sets, right? In case you could have, you would have 5 questions in these sets. So you could have easily done that additional 5th question in less than 30 seconds, right? So we can say that let's stick to this paper only. Let's not get into the imagination. what if that has happened, what if that will happen. No. So 8 questions in less than 25 minutes. You still have 15 minutes left with you. If you are a student who is an average kind of student, average with calculations, so in first 25 minutes you have 8 questions, you have secured that 90 plus percentile in LRDI section. Next 15 minutes, even if you will complete one set, you will be sitting certainly above 95 percentile in LRDI section. Who knows, you will get 99 percentile with another set. All right. So friends, that's all about this session, in which we have just seen how we can increase our efficiency while we are inside the examination hall. All right. Now we'll solve the leftover questions in the next session, right? So we'll solve at least two more sets in the next session, and we'll see what was the difficulty level. Now, if you will have to select another two sets, right, on the basis of whatever we have done today, do not read these sets entirely, right? So please mention it in the chat box which other two sets you will select, right? So we have left behind first, second and fourth set. So you can leave in the chat box which two out of these three will you select just by looking at them. Do not get into these sets, do not read them entirely, right? Otherwise our purpose will be defeated. Okay, so I'll look for your comments in the comment section, which two sets out of the remaining three you will select. All the very best. I'll see you in the next session.